Surah 13, Ayat 15. All in the heavens and the earth prostrate themselves before God, either of their own free will or by force, just as do their shadows in the morning and evening. For instance, with our own bodies, we have what is referred to as involuntary responses, such as our heartbeat and our breathing. We have no control over these systems. We can try and regulate our breathing, but eventually our lungs will scream for our brains to take a breath. We can try and stop our heartbeat, but that'll be foolish and fatal. Surah 67, Ayat 19. Every creature renders worship to the Creator of the heavens and the earth, each in their own ways. Had they not seen the birds above them expanding their wings and contracting them? What is it that withholds them, save the beneficent Allah? Surely He sees everything. Some of us have a calling from our Creator. Some recognize their calling immediately. Some run away from their calling, and that is their choice. For we were given free will by our Creator. But if it is decreed that you are meant to call people towards the faith of Islam, even though the people reject you, there is nowhere for you to run. Literally. Especially if you find yourselves in the belly of a big fish. Up next, the Prophet Jonah alayhi salam. Hello, and welcome back to The Conversation Piece with your host, Akila. Jonah alayhi salam was also known as Dan-Nun, and he was sent to a people who worship false idols, false gods other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Jonah alayhi salam kept calling people towards the faith, but they kept rejecting him. He grew impatient and informed the people of Nineveh that their rejection would bring about the punishment from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The people of Nineveh, like the rebellious people before them, the people of Ad, Thamud, Noah alayhi salam, boasted to their prophet to bring about the calamity if they speak the truth. Jonah alayhi salam decided against his instruction from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to leave and go to another community. Perhaps his message would be welcome elsewhere. Surah 21, Ayah 87. And mention the man of the fish, when he went off in anger and thought that we would not decree anything upon him. Jonah alayhi salam, in his anger, did not witness what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent to the people of Nineveh in his absence. They witnessed the skies change color, the color of fire, and they started to remember the warnings that Jonah alayhi salam tried to convey to them, that they in their ignorance and rebellion would not submit. They also started to remember the destruction of the people of Ad, Thamud, the people of Noah alayhi salam, and then miraculously, faith entered into their hearts. Their heartbeats started to submit, and they asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive them and to bring Jonah alayhi salam back so he could lead them. The people of Nineveh took heed of the warning and submitted. They learned their lesson when they saw the punishment coming. Surah 10, Ayat 98. Why didn't no one except the people of Jonah believe in their punishment before their death, so that they could have benefited from their faith? When the people of Jonah believed, we saved them from a disgraceful torment in this life and provided them with the means of enjoyment for an appointed time. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgave them. Jonah alayhi salam had to be humbled. He was sent with a mission, but he turned his back on his mission and left against the instruction of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Jonah alayhi salam boarded a ship. In the midst of its sail, it started to take on water and sink. The captain ordered everyone to throw items off the ship. Perhaps the ship was too heavy. Now it was still sinking. Then the order was given for people to jump ship, but diplomatically, so they began to draw lots. They cast lots numerous times, and each time the name of Jonah alayhi salam was drawn, he realized that it was a decree of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he jumped ship. Surah 37, Ayat 139 through 144. And indeed, Jonah was among the messengers, mentioned when he ran away to the laden ship, and he drew lots, and was among the losers. Then the fish swallowed him, while he was blameworthy. And had he not been of those who exalt Allah, he would have remained inside the belly until the day they are resurrected. Before Jonah alayhi salam jumped off the ship, it is important to note that it was nighttime, with no light anywhere. But he knew at that moment that he put himself in that situation. He jumped off the ship and was swallowed by a big fish. Some narrations note it was a whale. Imagine being swallowed by a whale, engulfed in complete darkness. What would you do? Submit to your circumstances? Or pray that someone hears your call? Either way, you would have to submit. Jonah alayhi salam was in the belly of a whale, being slowly digested, his skin being subjected to enzymes. He started to feel nauseous, and in 3 stages of darkness: the darkness of the belly, the darkness of the sea, and in the darkness of the night, he submitted and made a dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Dear listeners, dear believers, do not think that there is not a moment in your life where you find no way out, where you feel helpless, that you can't turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and He will not hear you. Jonah alayhi salam found himself in the belly of a whale and cried out to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help him. He finally realized his error and prayed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive him and provide rescue. Surah 21, ayah 87 through 88. And mention the man of the fish when he went off in anger and thought that we would not decree anything upon him. And he called out within the darkness, "There is no deity except you. Exalted are you. Indeed, I have been of the wrongdoers." So we responded to him and saved him from the distress. And thus do we save the believers. Surah 37, ayat 143 through 145. And had he not been of those who exalt Allah, he would have remained inside his belly until the day they are resurrected. But we threw him onto the open shore while he was ill. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reminds us that when we remember him in prosperity, he will remember us in adversity. Surah 37, ayat 146. And we caused a gourd vine to grow over him. The gourd vine helped return him to health. Jonah alayhi salam went back to his people, but this time, his people were different. They heeded the message in his absence. Surah 37, ayat 147 through 148. And we sent him to his people of 100,000 or more, and they believed, so he gave them enjoyment of life for a time. The punishment was diverted from the people of Jonah alayhi salam. He who ran away from his calling. He who found himself in the belly of a whale. He who did not succumb to his circumstances. He who reflected on his actions, repented, and asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for forgiveness. He who was spat out onto the coast, naked and sick, restored to health by a nearby gourd. He who returned to his people and witnessed them worshiping one God, taking heed of his message. Jonah alayhi salam thought he knew better than Allah, that the people of Nineveh would not listen, so he thought he could run away from his destiny. When you are called upon to serve a community, we must trust that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has placed you there for a reason. We may not see the entire vision, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sees all and knows all. He is Al-Alim, As-Sami, Al-Basir, Al-Hakim, a few of the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. My Imam Abdul Haq Muhammad, I don't think he would find it offensive if I named him. But I recounted a time when he referred to me as Jonah alayhi salam. I am in no way a prophet, but he stated that at times, I would run away from responsibilities of stepping up to the plate and becoming a more influence at our Islamic center. At the time, I did not understand what he meant, but he has, since my youth, always encouraged me to use my voice. He always encouraged members, especially of us, those of us who are female, to add our perspective to the faith. I occasionally gave presentations in front of our humble congregation about Islam and other societal issues. With this podcast, I think I'm finally starting to find my voice. Even to this day, when I read about Jonah alayhi salam in the Quran, I chuckle to myself recounting the words of my Imam. We never know what we may say that may take shape in someone, and they find themselves interested in the faith of Islam. We never know what we may say that could change someone's outlook on life, to influence other ways of thinking, of critical thinking, about their lives and the lives of those around them. Our words and actions have consequences. The Holy Quran is a book for all times. Its words are not stuck in time. Our words and actions can influence people and nations to move for prosperity or for destruction. Our words and actions can influence people to submission or revolution. Our words and actions can be for good or for harm, and will be the very things that we will all see on the day of judgment. There will be no running away that day. Our souls will submit. I thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for allowing me to use my podcast to spread the message of Islam and to highlight the lives and the message of His Nabi. I thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the gift of expression that He has afforded me. I thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the believers who encourage me to use my voice. Imam Haq recently messaged me also. He texted, Alhamdulillah, may Allah continue to guide you. Keep up the good work. MashaAllah. The message and example of Jonah alayhi salam was to trust the decree and process of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We sometimes don't always know or understand the decree, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will never guide His Nabi in the wrong direction. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is asking us to trust the process. Alhamdulillah. On the next episode, the most mentioned prophet in the Quran, Nabi Musa, Moses alayhi salam. The Conversation Piece podcast can now be found on YouTube. Go to www.youtube.com/@Akilah B. Lynch, AQUILABLINCH. Thank you again for tuning in to another episode of the Conversation Piece podcast. I am your humble host, Akilah, requesting that you join me again. So, until then, be safe, love and value yourself so that you can love and value others. I bid you adieu with the greeting, Assalamu alaikum, peace be with you.